I don't think it's a requirement. I don't think everyone needs to have a personal brand. I think everyone should consider it. It's not for everyone. There's a lot of baggage that comes with being a public figure. Now, most people won't have the level of public figureness that I have. So I think for a lot of people, especially in a B2B environment, I think it's epic. Because there's nobody here who's the next fucking Taylor Swift or Charli D'Amelio. Like, it's not that kind of industry for that. So I think, but what it will be is it leads to this conference inviting you to be on stage next year. Like, there's a lot of value in it in B2B. B2C is a little scarier because it can change your life. If you became internet famous, your life's different. And there's a lot of baggage that comes along with that. And a lot of people don't even, I'll be honest with you, I'm not very interested in, how many people here really follow me? Like, just for context? So all of you know, I don't share my personal life. I'm deeply private, deeply private. I just am so aware of the business ramifications of it. But why did I say that? You're in control. You don't want people in your business? Don't post it. I think to remind people, first, it's not for everyone, and that's okay, you don't have to. But I do think a lot of people think of it as only like high energy, dynamic person. It's not. There's a lot of very introverted, very thoughtful, very articulate, very deep thinking writers that crush, especially for this industry. You go write a white paper that really is right about what's happening and like talks about your solution and why it will work, you would be stunned how much that will work. So you gotta find your way of communicating. I think it's worth considering, but it's not a requirement. There are plenty of people who have monster businesses that has no personal brand attached to it. It also could lead to happiness. Let me explain. So now you're getting going a little bit with what we're talking about here, but you remember like, wait a minute, he did mention that I could post other stuff, and you post your first ever video cooking, ever. You love to cook, it's your place, it's where you feel like you're most you, you're even a little funnier, a little more dynamic, right? And you just film cooking a meal and you're talking, and you just post it, and it fucking explodes. And you find yourself 2 years from now being literally a food influencer, making more money with brands supporting your food videos than you were being a senior executive. I believe it is a path to happiness. I genuinely believe a lot of people here have deeper passions than what you're doing right now for your living. And I think it's worth potentially scratching those itches. So hacking attention, or the way I think about it, day trading, is a very simple and complicated game. Where are you all spending your time? Where? Like, where are your eyeballs and ears going? 50 years ago it was television and newspapers. And so you would try to then make the best print ad to make you buy. I did that in my career. I used to spend a week making my New York Times full page ad. A week. I would be 8 hours a day. A week. Should I put this wine in this corner? Should I have a coupon down here? Like, real thinking. Now that same thinking goes into the first 3 seconds of every video I put on LinkedIn. It goes into the thumbnail. Some of my friends here are doing a really good job on LinkedIn. We were hanging out backstage, and I said to him, hey, you gotta pay attention to the copy, because LinkedIn, only the first 50 letters show up, and then you have to hit, learn more. Most people won't do that. If you have a call to action link in the first 50 thing, you're gonna get a higher retention, right? Or how do you actually think about what's happening? You're all doing it, all of you minimally. I'm aware that some of you don't have anything, not LinkedIn, not Facebook, but the far majority of this room is doing this on something. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube Shorts. How do you get someone to stop? Especially with more content coming. So what I think a lot about is the science around the art. First 3 seconds, thumbnail, words. What time do we post? Literally, right now, I'll show him and he can confirm it to you. My team, this is the thread with the whole team on it. Look at this. We will post this today at 6:36 p.m.
It is that specific.
Read the whole.
Ideal times today, 4:04 and 6:36. One reel, one image. For the reel, recommendation is a reel of you on stage.
I promise you, this is a level of commitment that's very different than post that picture. So the science around the art, but then also following trends. Like when Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are eating up popular culture, is there any way for you to interject into that conversation that doesn't feel forced? How clever are you? How creative are you? I saw a really good post by a B2B company where the two heads of the company One person's name was Travis and one was Taylor. They were both dudes, but it was perfect, right? Because, you know, like they were able to like make a reference, and I looked back, it was their highest performing post ever, right? So I'm looking at the pulse of society. You know how many people lost customers by posting during inappropriate times? So you have to have a feel for the room, which is the world. You have to know your demos. I'm making content on LinkedIn for just VCs, and the next post just to get clients, and the next post just to get talent to apply to VaynerMedia. All three of those videos are very different. I was telling those guys, everything they make is just about selling the SaaS, but they should make videos to get better talent on their sales team. They should make videos about how they run company culture. They should make, by the way, a thing that all of you should do on LinkedIn is make a post about your interests. Maybe it's French wine, maybe it's golf, maybe you're playing pickleball. You might post on LinkedIn that you have fallen in love with pickleball, go into the fact that that hour now, every day that you play pickleball in the morning, makes you fresher to be better at work. And because someone who you're trying to reach as a customer or an employee also likes pickleball, that just created consideration based on relevance for them to do business with you. So everyone's showing up in LinkedIn in their fucking suit and tie, right? But in reality, you need to show that version and this version. Definitely. That you're in, you know, notice, I always say, watch what I'm doing, not what I'm saying, like, or, you know, like, pay attention to how I give a keynote. Like, I will make references to the New York Jets. I will make references to wine. I'm creating connection points. And all of you should be doing that in your content. If you're just saying the same thing of like, our tech works better, like, cool, but like you can only say it so many times. AI companies should be talking about time savings. You put a photo of a person watching their child play basketball in a gym, and then you say, use our tech and save an hour every day so you can go watch your kid play basketball. Watch how many people stop. That's a very different emotional connection point, because inevitably somebody on the other side of that LinkedIn post is sitting in the office right now missing a recital or a game and feels hot. We all are modern parents. We feel like shit. Our parents didn't give a fuck. We feel like shit. We feel like shit, and all of a sudden that hits you and say, wait a minute, maybe that's why I should pay up for the tech, because I do want that hour back, because I do want to eat dinner with my family once a week. And like, that's real shit. Just the real way humans work. And so my efficiency on that post will go up. This is like real shit. Like, it's why I laugh how people think about social media. People look at social media like it's bad, it's ruining the world, or my kid's all fucked up, or it is disproportionately the most significant engine of business growth on earth. And there isn't a close second. See, I wrote a book in 2009 called Crush It, which really talked about what I thought was gonna happen and ended up happening with social media and all this. It went very viral. I was pretty unknown. I was in the wine world, but definitely not in the business world. And I started getting asked to speak. And I don't know if you picked up on this, but I curse. And I'm very casual. And today, the way I'm dressed on stage, even in an event like this, you can kind of somewhat get away with it. The casualization of business over the last 15 years has happened. In 2009, it wasn't there yet. And CAA was my speaking bureau at the time. And they called me, because I was naturally good at it. I didn't know that I was a good public speaker. And you could see how I speak. It's very improv. It's very it's not a presentation. Even for the people that follow me the most, they'll see things that I say often, but there's always new shit. It's contextual. My speaking bureau reached out to me pretty aggressively in a good way. They came from a good place. They're like, bro, you could be a legitimate speaker. You could be big. This could work for you. And it's very lucrative. But you have to start wearing a suit and you can't curse. And they didn't even finish the sentence. And I said to them, I'm like, thank you. Because they were coming from a good place. I'm like, you just don't know me. I'm not capable of that. I'm just really great at one thing, which is being comfortable in my own skin and dealing with the ramifications of that, pro and con. That is my greatest skill set. So all of that is just really how I live my life. And I'm okay that people won't book me to speak because they don't want someone to curse, or they think it's disrespectful to be too casual. I respect that. That's their house. That's their event. They're allowed. But I'm not interested in feeling uncomfortable because I can't be my best self. When I'm speaking, I want to impact people. All of you just saw that talk. I was reinforcing over and over the same thing because I know there's like 3 or 4 things for that collective group, knowing there was a lot of different people in there. Those were the 3 things that if they did, better shit would happen. And like, if I'm not comfortable, I'm not gonna be able to authentically like hit. Do you know what I mean? And I'm aware that there's people in there that thought it was inappropriate that I cursed. I believe that every time. Like, I believe that and I respect that. But I also know on the flip side, that talk has much more impact on the collective than most talks that would be given. And that's all you could ask for, right? Have as big of an impact. So no, I'm not like Vince McMahon and like creating a character that I think will work. I just got very fortunate that the world went in my direction. I always think about myself of like, who the hell would have I been if I was doing business in the 60s, 70s, and 80s? It would have been tough because I wouldn't have gone there. And I would have been some sort of different thing. I mean, it might have been better. I might have been very unique and a trailblazer, but no, I'm just not comfortable doing anything that doesn't come naturally to me. I just always feel like it's icky and off. And me like not in my pure form is like bad.